from now, News9 Global Summit will kick off in Abu Dhabi. The TV9 Network is thrilled to announce launch of a mini bilateral summit focused on women and leadership on the occasion of Emirati Women's Day on 27th of August. Titled the SHEconomy Agenda, the mini summit will bring together exemplary women achievers from the UAE and India for thoughtful discussions on the need for more women leaders in different walks of life. The idea is to accelerate women's participation in economic value creation and innovation and give them a greater say in decision making, especially in view of the emerging trade and business opportunities between India and the UAE. The idea is not merely women development, but women-led development. And clock is ticking for the News9 Global Summit UAE edition. My colleague Kartik Malhotra joining us with all the details. Kartik, I believe in just half an hour from now, the summit will kick off. What's on agenda?
A little lesser than that, Shweta. In fact, just about 22 minutes or so. In fact, we have some lovely ladies walking in, and it's going to be, of course, an evening where we're not just looking at celebrating women power. We're actually looking at these women serving as inspiration and becoming role models for other women to follow in their footsteps, if not leave their own footprints in the sand. So it's going to be an evening, about 4 hours or so of programming, where we've got everything lined up all the way from women leaders, the leadership imperative, where womenpreneurs, as they're called, would be in action, in conversation here. We are looking at some science of family businesses, both from India and the UAE, here in conversation with us. Of course, we've also got the She Star Awards. So that's going to be about 10, 11 categories across which we will be looking at awarding certificates to women who are pretty much, the epitome of exemplary leadership and performance. So a lot lined up. It's going to be about 4 hours of action. And of course, our viewers here will get a glimpse of that in about 20 minutes or so from now.
All right, Kartik, and before I let you go, I have to ask you, you're saying it's a power-packed 4-hour programming. What are you most excited about? Is it going to be the discussions that you'll have with women? I believe who's who of diaspora from India and UAE are going to assemble there for that summit. What are you most excited about?
Well, it's hard to say what one is most excited about. I think the entire agenda is going to be fairly exciting, but I think across all the panels that we are going to see here on stage today, across all the award winners and all the presentations that will be made, I think it's hard, honestly, to choose what is most relevant and hence most exciting, because at one level, it's of course leadership. And I think I'll be curious myself to understand, is there really a different leadership playbook for men and for women? Or at the end of the day, it's just a gender and it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I think we are also looking at graduating towards family businesses, where again, I mean, not just India, but globally, we've seen that there are very few families which pass the baton to the girl child. It's mostly the sons who take the legacy forward. So that's going to be, I think, one of the key discussions and one of the key, watch out for events as part of what we have in store over the next 4 hours. Of course, I'm talking to you on the SHEconomy Agenda. I'm feeling like the odd man out, quite literally here. Ideally, you should have been here, but of course, we've got a lot of women from our own organization
Ladies
who will
joining
be on the
you
stage
there.
as well. And
You've
of
got
course,
some lovely
as I'm telling
women
you, I can see there are people walking in
and itself, but so I'm sure you have enough and more of women with you. But the reason I asked you that question, because this is coming just a day before the Emirati Women's Day, and you have women diaspora from India as well as the UAE. I think something that I'm keen to know, Kartik, is whether women in India, their challenges are any different from women in Middle East or West Asia. I mean, when you compare their journeys, when you compare their understanding of family-led businesses or women entrepreneur, how do their journeys actually converge or differ? Something that I'm excited to know about.
I promise you, Shweta, that is a question that I will ask at least the women who would be on my panel, and we will have an eclectic mix of women both from India and from the Middle East, like you mentioned. So I will hope to get an answer for you, perhaps, and for our viewers as well, because that's a pertinent point. Because challenges exist, and and just to throw some data, for your consumption and for our viewers' consumption. The research that we were doing while we were looking at inviting, in fact, even at the start when we were looking at putting this summit together, some of the statistics are actually quite alarming. So if you look at, let's say, the Fortune 500 companies, right, the biggest 500 companies in the world, the Fortune 500 companies, out of those 500 companies, there are exactly 55 companies which are led by women. We are looking at 11% participation in leadership roles of women when you talk about the largest 500 companies in the world. Now, 11% does not seem as a very bad statistic if you were to compare it to women participation in leadership roles in India. If you look at the Nifty 50 companies, for example, Shweta, it's exactly one company out of the 50 largest companies by market cap in India which are led by a woman as the CEO.